Welcome back to Justice. Liars, leakers, and liberals like Michael Moore trying to ramp up fake fear in America once again. Take a listen.
Who's your choice? Who do you think would beat Trump?
The honest answer to that is I don't even know if we're going to get to 2020 as a democracy.
Really? Joining me now with reaction to that and so much more, former Arkansas Governor, Fox News contributor Mike Huckabee. What's he talking about? He doesn't even know if we're going to get there. What does that mean?
Well, you know, he may be right. It's rare for me to agree with Michael Moore, but here's why. Democrats refuse to accept election results. If you think about it, back in 2000, the previous Republican president, they didn't accept the election results. They said George Bush was not legitimate. They've done the same thing with Donald Trump. The one thing that we can't survive as a country is when either side refuses to accept an election as the will of the voters. And Democrats do not accept election results unless they win. And then they not only accept it, but they use an election like a bulldozer to run over everybody. And they, instead of following the law, they just make it up as they go.
And you know what is so amazing, Governor? Do you remember when Hillary Clinton or one of them came out and said, we've got to make sure that Donald Trump accepts the results, ACC, yes. You know, when they thought she was going to win, and they were so worried he wouldn't accept it. That's because it's in their playbook. But anyway, let's go to right now. We've got a, what is it? Obama at an Ohio rally. Take a listen to this.
So just remember that when you hear these folks bragging about this economic miracle, just remember when it started. Just remember when the ball got rolling. We spent 8 years pushing that boulder up the hill. We finally get to the top. It starts rolling down the hill. And then these folks come in and say, look at what we're doing. They're standing there, didn't break a sweat.
Wow. Go ahead, Governor. Oh,
I never knew how humble that President Obama was, because he never bragged about his great economic miracle when he was in office. He never talked about the jobs, the deregulation. He never talked about the record unemployment for minorities. And now suddenly, after Donald Trump delivers on the very things that he said he would do, it was all because President Obama had laid all of the groundwork. This is incredible. I've never seen anything quite like it. But the one thing I will remind you, do you remember when President Trump, then candidate, was talking about what the economy was going to look like under him? President Obama said that's not going to happen. It would take a miracle. And he just completely pooed the idea. Well, the President Trump, promised it, delivered it, and now suddenly Barack Obama grabs the baton and jumps in front of the parade and says, I was leading it all the time.
Well, it is pretty stunning. And I remember when he said, you know, carrier, these jobs are never coming back. You know, it's all so pathetic. Yeah. But anyway, I want to go to another outrageous comment, and that is that I think we have it here. Kavanaugh, interesting that Kavanaugh went to an all-boys school and had 65 women vouching for him. And Deborah Messing had said, Brett Kavanaugh went to an all-boys school. How quickly you can get 65 names. It's almost as though you knew about the accusation of sexual assault and tried to hide it, but got prepared with the names just in case. So Deborah Messing and then Chelsea Handler all say that because he went to an all-boys school, he most probably assaulted a woman, as Dianne Feinstein came out and delivered this anonymous letter on the 11th hour that I did my open on tonight. Talk about that, Governor.
Well, the big difference, Judge, is that 65 women signed their names to it. They're willing to be accountable for it. The one person who is unknown and completely anonymous with really some pretty sketchy accusations, we don't know who it is. We have no idea. But I'll tell you something we learned from all of this. If Judge Kavanaugh teaches and coaches girls basketball, and then he goes and he gives women record numbers of jobs, then he's a potential sexual predator. If he doesn't, he's a sexist. But I'll tell you the one thing that the left would love him for: if he would wear a dress and hang out in women's restrooms, that would be the one thing that they would suddenly applaud and say, he's fit for the court.
Governor Mike Huckabee, thanks so much.